That's my space. What you gonna do, folks?
Thank you. Welcome back, boxing fans. Welcome back. Oh my gosh, this has been a greatly anticipating year of boxing. So many great matches. Just this year alone, 2013 for boxing has put boxing to the forefront. I mean, it's bringing back just the average boxing fans or just the average fans, period, who like a great fight back to boxing. Boxing 2013 definitely has been the fight. Just numerous of great fights this whole year, from the beginning of the year all the way down to December. The whole entire year has been great fights. This is my second YouTube blog, and I had posted my prediction and thoughts on Mayweather Canelo for my first YouTube blog. Now I'm coming with my second one. Reading off some of the comments I got from the Mayweather Canelo fight. I wanted to talk about a fight that has been no one is really talking about. One of the best fights I think that's gonna happen this year, and no one's talking about it at all. They're almost bypassing it. The media's not saying anything about it too much. I just don't know. I just don't know why. So that's what I'm trying to get, is just some great understanding of why no one is really talking about this fight. And of course, if you read or you looked at my first blog, Mayweather versus Canelo, you understood that I said that Mayweather's going to win that fight by decision, and it was going to be a boring fight. It was going to be one of those fights like Mayweather and De La Hoya fights where the anticipation was great, but the fight itself just didn't have that luster for it. You know, that was one of the dullest fights, I do believe. And I think Mayweather and Canelo is going to be the same exact way. And I gave my reason why. Please go back and look at that blog if you want to see my opinions on Mayweather and Canelo. But here's a fight that's actually going to be better than Mayweather Canelo. Here's a fight that's going to be more fan appropriate. I mean, it's going to have it all. The fight that no one is really talking about. And that fight is, believe it or not, Timothy Bradley versus Marquez. I think that's going to be one of the best fights for you true boxing fans. I think that fight is going to be better than the Mayweather Canelo fight. It's going to be competition wise, competitive wise. It's going to be way better than the Mayweather Canelo fight. No one's talking about it, and it's going to take place this year. I think it takes place in October. Right after the Mayweather Canelo fight, I think it's going down in October. Don't quote me on that. But I feel like this fight is going to be one of the best fights of this year. And I'm gonna tell you why before I tell you who's gonna win that fight. Or in my eyes, that fight is gonna be, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a chess match. It's gonna be boxing versus boxing, counter punching, angles. It's gonna everything that you anticipate in boxing is gonna have this in this match. Everything that a boxer is required to have is gonna have it in this match. Now, let me give you some background information on both fighters. Of course, you know Marquez came off a devastating win, knocking out Manny Pacquiao. laying them flat, making them go to sleep, not waking up for a while. you know, oh my God! But doing that fight, that fight was an awesome fight. Them boys came out with the intentions of they're not letting it go to decision this time. Someone's getting knocked out and going out on their shield. Both fighters dedicated themselves to it, and of course, Pacquiao was out on his shield. Now Pacquiao, he's has another fight coming up, which is great with Bam Bam Rios, and I'm definitely gonna give you my prediction on that. But they say you're only as good as your last fight, so Marquez is definitely looking great now. The knockout he put on Pacquiao was unbelievable. Timothy Bradley also came off a huge win over I don't know the Russian name, but he fought a Russian and they was going toe to toe. That was toe to toe action. Bradley won that fight. But the fight itself was exciting. It was a great match. It was good on HBO. And wow, I didn't think Timothy Bradley can bang like that. Well, I knew he could, but I didn't think he could bang and be effective like that, the way he was. He rocked that Russian a couple of times before that, but that Russian definitely rocked his ass and almost knocked him out in the 12th and final round. But Bradley, he got up off the floor and he won. So the reason why I say Timothy Bradley and Marquez fight is going to be one of the best ever is because of what they want, to make their careers. Timothy Bradley is wanting and faming for Marquez status of being one of the greatest fighters, legendary fighters, and he has that status to go along with it. Marquez, on the other hand, is wanting what Timothy Bradley has right now in his possession, which is the championship belt for that weight division. So Marquez can come, I think, 5 or 6 time champion of his division, and that's what he's wanting. So, of course, Marquez could have did another fight with Pacquiao, but he said he didn't want that. He said, "No, I want the belt. That's what I'm going for. I want Timothy Bradley." So big up to Marquez for even saying that, and big up for Timothy Bradley for even saying, "Okay, let's get it on. Let's go get it. You want my belt, and I want your name on my record as saying I beat the shit out of you and moving on, so I can become one of the best." So I definitely give big props for making this fight happen. I definitely think this fight is going to be bigger than the Mayweather-Canelo fight as far as competition-wise. Maybe not recognition-wise, but as far as competition-wise, competitive-wise, and just an overall good boxing match, this fight is definitely going to be better. But let me actually get down into the fighters a little bit. Now Marquez, he has a couple of suspects that I didn't like on his last fight. Now they saying he's on steroids or PED or doing that fight, which I don't think he was. I just think he knocked out. I think he knew Manny Pacquiao so well because they fought so much, and he knew Manny Pacquiao habits like Manny Pacquiao knew Marquez habits, where we good night. He beat him to the punch. If you go back and watch that fight, you notice that was a great fight. It was great toe-to-toe action. No fighters were really dominating each other. They were pretty much even. Both of them got knockdowns. Pacquiao, I think Marquez knocked Pacquiao down first, and I think Pacquiao came back and knocked Marquez down, and then Marquez came back and laid him out. But if you look during that fight, Marquez got hit a lot. He got hit with shots that he never got hit before. Pacquiao was hitting him with shots that he never got hit before, that he was never hitting Marquez before. And that's because both fighters knew each other. They knew their strength and their weakness of each other. They tweaked their game plan, but they still knew each other because they fought so many. It was like the 4th fight. So they knew this. They knew each other so well where it had to been someone getting laid out to put it to rest. Unfortunately, Pacquiao got put out first. You know, he went night night. Fuck your couch. Good night. But Marquez, if you look at that fight, Pacquiao was almost about to get ready to put Marquez out as well. Because he rocked Marquez before Marquez caught him with that big shot. And Pacquiao was going for the kill. You can tell he was going for the kill, trying to lay him out. But Marquez caught him, put him out, you know. But Marquez looked hittable during that fight. And I read a couple of YouTube blogs, and I looked at a couple of videos, and read a couple of more blogs about Timothy Bradley on that fight, and he said that's the reason why he wanted Marquez, because now he felt like Marquez was a big enough name, or that win, the knockout over Pacquiao put Marquez legend almost untouchable. So now he wanted Marquez legend, and he said that he felt like, you know, Pacquiao was about to knock out Marquez, you know, during that last fight. And, you know, so Timothy Bradley wanted Marquez, and Marquez wanted Timothy Bradley, so they're making the fight happen thanks to Barbera. The good thing about this is Timothy Bradley also can bang. He doesn't have that punching power that's gonna knock a person out, but he has that pop and that poise to kind of keep you off of him a little bit. His last fight, he fought the Russian. Like I say, I don't remember his name, but I do know it was a great fight. It was a toe-to-toe fight, and pretty much Bradley started off the fight trying to box the Russian, and the Russian did not respect Timothy Bradley's power at all. He walked straight. He walked forward, put pressure on Timothy Bradley, made Timothy Bradley fight, made him get into a slugging match, which I thought was like, why are you doing that? But Timothy Bradley proved me wrong. He was like, all right, if I can't box you, now I'm going to slug with you a little bit. And he slugged with the Russian. They was going back and forth, and Timothy Bradley was in there Russian with clean, good, powerful hips. I mean, oh my God, slugging him. But then the Russian rocked him like in the third or fourth round, and all had his knees all wobbly. Timothy Bradley was like, I'm not even on earth. You know, I thought they was going to call the fight then. But that's what made me feel like Timothy Bradley deserved that fight, or deserved to win over Pacquiao. It's because of this fight when he fought the Russian. You saw his heart. And you saw the will and determination in the heart saying, okay, hell nah. Okay, you rock me. You're not finna put me to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna step back on your couch with my muddy shoes like Rick James, bitch. And I'm finna stomp all on this shit. And he fucking, oh my God. He went to war with the Russians. And he made that Russian respect his power. You know, the Russian almost had him down in like third or fourth round, but he came out and he went back slugging with the Russians, made that Russian respect his power, and then next thing you know, Timothy Bradley then can started working his game plan of boxing the Russian at that point, because the Russian had respect for Timothy Bradley's power, and he knew Timothy Bradley wasn't gonna go out for it. So he boxed the middle rounds. He boxed him, which was great. But he slugged when he needed to slug, and then he boxed him when he needed to box him. He didn't run away. He didn't run in the ring all around trying to get away from him. He boxed him straight up. And then close to the late rounds, the Russian tried to pull it on, try to get a knockout, because he knew he needed a knockout. He knew he needed to get the knockout win, so he went out for it from the 10th to the 12th round, trying to knock Bradley out. And Bradley went back slugging with him, trying to keep that Russian up off of him. But the great thing about this, that Russian knocked him down. I mean, it was so much drama in this ring because the Russian actually knocked him down again on the tour in the 12th round. I thought he got him because Bradley legs was just like rubber at that point. But he whatever, he pulled himself together and he got through the fight. And I felt that was just one of the best fight of last year when he fought that Russian. The fight before that, Timothy Bradley fought Pacquiao, and everyone was disappointed, or they booed Timothy Bradley, and they say he didn't win that fight. At that particular time, I felt like Timothy Bradley. I don't know who won. I really had to go back and watch the fight again. And then after watching the fight again, I felt Timothy Bradley won that fight. Point blank, I felt he won that fight. Pacquiao, he was trying to jump in on Timothy Bradley and throw his combination punches on him. And every time he jumped in on Timothy Bradley, Bradley did one number that he noticed that Marquez did when he fought Timothy Bradley. And that number was once Pacquiao jumped in, Timothy Bradley went like this. He just moved back. He moved back. He circled him. He ringed him. He hit him on angles. He put him in bad. He put him in bad angles, and Timothy Bradley just didn't have the power to do damage and effects to Pacquiao, where the crowd would go, "Ooh, wow, you getting? Oh, wow, he's catching." So the punches that Timothy Bradley was landing on Pacquiao, it was just like, okay, he hit him. Okay, he hit him again. Okay, let's see what Pacquiao's gonna do. And Pacquiao jumps in on him and throws his fast flurry of punches, and it looked good for the crowd. But I felt like those punches wasn't doing anything. I mean, clearly Timothy Bradley was hitting with clean shots on angles. Um, he was actually hitting them in between switching angles to move them, which was great because most people don't see those shots when you punching as you put them in an angle, where it's just a steady punch where you pretty much move his body into your punch, so most people really don't see it because you're moving his body into the punch, and it's not one of those eye-catching punches. One of the best who does that is Mayweather, where he'll move you into his punch, and as you throw or as he move you around. I don't think no one ever really noticed. If you go back and look at his past fights, and that you get on YouTube, I noticed that Mayweather punch a lot to the body, and most people don't even realize that. That overhand right comes from Mayweather punching him to the body. Now, I'm not talking about that long, stiff jab to the body. I'm just talking about like them hooks to the body as you come in close to Mayweather. He's catching your punches, but then he's throwing like he's punching on one side of your body the whole entire round on the right side of your body as you moving in, trying to punch him and do all this other stuff. When he constantly punches you to the body, that's why he's able to land that overhand right. That's straight overhand right. It's because you drop your hands because he's constantly punching you to the body. And then once he's squared up and he's waiting on you, and then he's so fast where he just throws it so the crowd can see, ooh, hit him with an overhand right. But I feel like the most damaging effects were the punches to the body. So Timothy Bradley does the same exact thing. He moves you into the angles and he punches you and he catches you and his hard. His hard. So I feel like it's more of hard versus hard in this fight. Timothy Bradley showed hard fighting interruption. He showed hard hurting him, breaking his leg or twisting his leg, whatever he did during that Pacquiao fight, and fighting the whole fight with a broken leg almost. One good leg. Showed hard. Most people can't fight through that. But he showed his heart and determination and will for it. So, wow. You got to give it to him. Marquez, hard as well. Marquez down. He's just going to come back stronger and harder. There's a reason why Mayweather only knocked Marquez down once during their fight. Did Mayweather dominate Marquez? Yes, but he didn't knock him down and finish him because Marquez was game. He showed that heart. He during the Pacquiao fights, every time he got knocked down or got hit with a great shot, he come back with his own. All right, you hit me, I'm gonna hit your ass back. That's what it was. So I feel like this fight is definitely gonna be a great fight. Timothy Bradley versus Marquez, and big ups for Bob Arum for putting this fight together. This is one that I actually want to see. It's kind of this is one of those fights that I do not want to make a prediction. You cannot say who's gonna win this fight. I feel like it's more of a 50-50 chance, just based on the two boxers' heart. I feel like it's gonna be a 50-50 chance, but I've been thinking about this fight a lot. I've been thinking about who can win, who has what. I know Marquez has great boxing skills, and he can counter punch, and he can pivot and put you on angles as well, and he can fight backing up, as he clearly showed that during the Pacquiao fight when he laid Pacquiao to sleep. He was doing that. He laid his ass out to sleep backing up. Timothy Bradley has the same thing. He has great boxing skills. Um, he has great angles, great footwork, great turns as far as boxing, and he can be a counterpuncher really. But he's really not really a counterpuncher because he's always the shorter fighter. So he comes in with that big ass head, and he fuck you up with that head plus punches. You know. Minus the head though, I think it's kind of hard to say who's gonna win this fight. Um, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I've been trying to analyze this fight for almost a week and a half now, and I'm definitely gonna go out on a limb and say that this fight is definitely gonna be a draw. I think it's gonna be a draw. I think it's gonna be a great fight, but it's gonna be a draw. It's just my predictions. Let me know what you guys think out there on the YouTube land, Boxing Nation. You know, let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you think my predictions are right. If you feel like I'm full of shit, tell me I'm full of shit. I definitely love to read your comments. Like I say, this is my second blog. I'm gonna get a little bit better on doing these YouTube videos right now, but I feel like this fight right here is definitely gonna be a 50-50 fight. I'm actually gonna do another blog in a week or two about Pacquiao and Bam Bam Rio's fight that's coming up. I think that's gonna be a great fight as well. I'm definitely gonna tell you my prediction on that one, and that's not gonna be a 50-50 fight. I guarantee you that one. But this is Marquez and Bradley is gonna be an awesome fight. Might even have a part two to it, depending on if it's a lot of drama, which it should be. You know, and not only just a chess match, but drama involved in the boxing match as well. And I think it's gonna be a 50-50 fight, depending on who has the better game plan, who has the better A, B, C, and D game plans for this fight, because you're gonna need a couple of game plans coming in this fight. You're not gonna just have just one fighter, one game plan, and it's gonna execute to the fullest. No. So I feel like this is definitely gonna be a draw. Believe it or not, it's gonna go 12 rounds, but it's gonna be a great fight, and it's gonna be a better fight than Mayweather fight versus Canelo fight, I feel. But like I say, please let me know what you think. Leave your comments. Let me know if you like the videos that I'm putting out. If not, let me know that as well. You know, I definitely want to read people comments about the videos that I'm putting out. And I'll see you guys later. All right.